Welcome to London for the fourth and final day of the 2016 Betfair Mosconi Cup. 13 matches down, and it's been quite a ride. For the first time in the tournament's history, the iconic Alexandra Palace has played host to the Mosconi Cup. And on day one, Europe made a great start. After winning the first three racks, it was Albin Ocean who wrapped up the match and gave his team an early lead. Next up, the first of the doubles matches. Europe continued their impressive start, forging ahead 2-0. In the third match of the day, reigning MVP Niels Feyen overcame Mike Dechaine to extend Europe's advantage. The fourth match saw Woodward and Bergman keep America's hopes alive with a comfortable victory over Appleton and Shaw. And the fifth and final match of the day saw Darren Appleton see off his long-standing rival Shane Van Boening to give Europe a commanding 4-1 overnight lead. A great start to the 2016 Mosconi Cup by Europe saw them take 4 of the opening 5 matches, establishing an early 3-point lead in the race to 11. With the US trailing by 3 after the opening session, they began day 2 with a mountain to climb. First up, it was Feyen and Gray against Van Boening and Woodward. No obstacles for the Euro pair as they cruised to a comfortable win. Next, the Scottish rookie Jayson Shaw against the Rocket Rodney Morris. The experience of Morris proving the difference as he gained a vital point for the US. Then we saw the match of the tournament with Dechaine and Bergman facing off against Ocean and Appleton. The Americans looked strong early on, putting the European pair under immense pressure. But in the end, they were pegged back by an inspired Ocean and Appleton comeback for yet another European point. Justin Bergman stayed on to contest the next against Mark Gray. The European star was unstoppable, with a convincing performance to see the overnight lead extended to 7-2. Another fantastic session by the defending champions as they claimed 3 wins from 4 and moved their total on to 7 points. With 4 matches to come in day 3, they knew a whitewash would hand them the trophy for a 7th consecutive year. Europe began the day with a commanding 5-point lead over their US rivals and turned to 2 of their most experienced players to extend it. Appleton and Feyen didn't disappoint, taking the match 5-2 and increasing Europe's advantage to 6. Next up, it was another doubles match and both teams showed they were under pressure. In the end, Europe proved too strong, coming out on top and taking the overall score to 9-2. The third match of the night was Ocean versus Woodward in a scrappy affair where Woodward pushed Ocean all the way. It went to the very last rack before Europe finally sealed the win. The final match of the night was doubles action again with Darren Appleton and Mark Gray versus Justin Bergman and the Rocket Rodney Morris. Both teams were feeling the heat, but Team USA eventually won the match, ending the day 7 points adrift. Another impressive session for Europe saw them win 3 matches out of 4 and extend their overall lead to 10-3. But victory for America in the final rack of the final match meant the Mosconi Cup would go into a 4th and deciding day. With potentially 8 matches left to play, the US would need to win all of them to lift the trophy. But for Europe to retain the Mosconi Cup, just one more win would do. Let's get to our opening game. It's a singles match featuring Jayson Shaw for Europe against Mike Dechaine for the US. Commentary from Jim White and Phil Yates.
The big question here, can the man who walked into the arena with that festive jumper on launch a pre-Christmas cracker? Or will, for the second year in succession, a Mosconi Cup rookie sink the final 9-ball? It was Albin Auschen last year. Will it be Jayson Shaw in 2016?
Well, Jayson Shaw supremely confident. He's been far from his best. That's been noted here. But he has been knocking on the door of the Mosconi Cup for a couple years. And he's played his way in now. And he's just won the leg. So the man they call Eagle Eye will break the race to 5 to try to secure the last point for Europe.
Thank you. Race to 5. Alternate breaks. The first rack, Europe to break. Nice and quiet, please. Thank you.
Such a tall order, Phil. To be fair, like if you're Captain Mark Wilson, all you can really do is tell your team to let it go. Fire at will, boys. And don't wait till you see the blue of their white of their eyes.
Well, not a bad break, and I think the pink 4-ball might be providing a sighting guide here to pot the 2, although it's a tough one.
Great open shot from Shaw there. Well, now he's got to get the cue ball all the way up table for the 6. Really, the only shot here, Phil, he's got to try and draw off the 8. Deep screw off the 8 and back up table. And he's overdone it. I mean, he made that look like it was easy getting that cue ball back there.
Yes, sweetly timed, but not well judged.
Extension called.
30-second shot clock in operation in this tournament, and in every rack, players are allowed 1 30-second extension.
Well, that's how you spell relief. Great defensive shot from Shaw there.
Well, the man with the Christmas jumper has just been put in a winter wonderland there. He's certainly been frozen out.
Extension called.
Well, he's eyed up this a couple ways. If he goes 2 cushions, well, that's what he's looking at. Now the second cushion would have to be very near the side pocket. He may be looking at 3 here, Phil. Yeah, that was a tough hit. He didn't get the bend on the cue ball that he intended.
Start the clock, please.
Well, 4 balls to pot, it should be elementary. Distance, of course, between the 8 and the 9, so a modicum of hope for Dechaine, but not a great deal.
No, he'll just leave himself a nice angle. perfection. And Team Europe, in the form of Jayson Shaw, secure the first rack here on day 4 in a match that they hope will be the last one played. 1-0 Europe.
Welcome back to London's Alexandra Palace and day 4 of the 2016 Mosconi Cup. After a great defensive shot by Jayson Shaw, Mike Dechaine missed the 6-ball, leaving the table open for the debutant to clear and take the opening rack. With Europe 10-3 ahead and needing just a single point to retain the Mosconi Cup, every rack has suddenly taken on a huge significance for the Americans. Commentary from Jim White and Phil Yates.
Effectively, it's all about restoring a degree of respectability to the scoreline.
All the fans here in attendance at the Alexandra Palace expecting an early celebration. The American goal is to put that on hold for as long as possible. 1 ball down, but the 2 came up and married itself to the 4.
On the break-off, actually, it's one aspect of this cup where the Americans have been marginally better. They've had 13 break-in run-outs in total, Europe 12. Surprising, really, considering the domination in terms of matches won.
Didn't like the safety option from here, so Dechaine now will have to find a place on the table that he feels the reply is a bit easier. Jayson Shaw doesn't think so.
Well, I'm not surprised in the slightest. When I saw the cue ball come to rest, I thought there's no way Shaw's playing this.
Well, he knows the 2 isn't going to travel anywhere. Just catch the left edge of the 2 as he looks. They caught it a bit thick. He can hit this. Can't make it. But certainly he can play a good attacking safety reply.
And there we saw the art of the push-out. You don't want to leave yourself too tough a shot if your opponent says play again.
Well, just sort of what would have been ideal pace from Jayson Shaw this time. Just a 1 cushion escape here. He's looking to the right-hand side as we look from our overhead perspective. Should hit this, getting it safe, maybe another story. Well, a very difficult 2-9 combination. And that's exactly what Mike Dechaine is looking at. This might be all or nothing, Phil.
Yes, especially with the cue ball being so deep in the jaws of this top pocket. It's on, but the execution, as you say, really tough.
Well, he fluked it into the corner. And he walks back to the chair like it was planned right from the start. Mike Dechaine, 1-1. just like that. I think that surprised everybody.
And it's not as though the 9 rattled around. That wasn't all that close. He's been very fortunate there, because look where the 2 ball was. The table was on for Shaw. Had the 9 not been fluked.
Yeah, Marcus Shamat is letting Jayson Shaw know just that. Just stay positive.
Frustrating for Shaw, because of course had he won that rack he would have been 2-0 ahead and breaking. As it is, breaking but all square.
Yeah, apart from the team match, the very first match to kick off the 23rd Mosconi Cup, the only point Jayson Shaw has won for Team Europe was in partnering Albin Ocean.
Quiet down, please.
So he'd love to do something on his own here.
Foul stroke. Ball in hand.
Not like that, he won't.
Start the clock, please.
And in 2 shots, this match has changed. The fluke 9 and then the scratch.
And you can see the problem area. Mike Dechaine has already made note of it. The 3 on the right-hand side as we look. 3 and 8, going to have to be developed. Now with the foul off the break, wouldn't hurt
Down,
Mike to try and lock him up behind the 9. Play a safety here. Yeah, not his best attempt at the safety. Tried to get the cue ball behind the 5. But he wanted that 2 up near the 3, because if he extracted the mistake with ball in hand, he would like to have been able to play from the 2 to the 3 a lot easier. So there was method in his madness there for sure.
Extension call.
Straight at the bank. Banks are open in London tonight.
Well, Darren Appleton, Shaw's good mate, knocked in a tremendous double last night. Shaw following suit there and freeing the 3.
And just like that, it's a reversal of fortunes. The weak safety effort from Mike Dechaine. And now he's got to spend some time in his chair.
And also this, when Shaw has dropped out of position, time and time again, it's when he's overhitting the cue ball. This table may be a little faster than what he's used to.
Oh, that was a good recovery. Again, made to look a lot easier than it was.
He's a dynamite potter. Doesn't matter what cue sport you play, if you can do that, you're hard to stop. Europe are hard to stop. And right now, they're getting closer and closer. In this singles, Shaw leads Dechaine 2-1.
Welcome back to the Mosconi Cup, where a scratch on the break by Jayson Shaw was not punished by Mike Dechaine, allowing the Scotsman to return to the table, brilliantly play out of a snooker and go on to comfortably close out the rack. 2-1 to Shaw in this match, and Europe now only 3 racks away from retaining the Mosconi Cup. This is a must-win game for the American team, who haven't held the famous trophy since 2009.
What a day it will have to be for Team USA to play themselves back into contention here. 10-3, the current score line in the first 2-11. And they trail 2-1 in this one.
And again, the position of the two doing America no favours. In goes the one to the side pocket. But the 2 runs a little too far.
Yeah, maybe worth the bank here, though. Dechaine thought so. It hasn't really done any harm. Jason's looking at it. And I think his demeanor at the table right now, looking at this too, tells you all you need to know. 2 is available, but it just doesn't offer any positional value to the 3.
Extension called.
Well, Shaw taking his extension with his first shot of the rack.
Yeah, not the easiest safety here either, Phil. He's really got to play safe here. Well, I'll tell you what, he's given himself a chance at the 3. That was a heck of a shot on the 2.
Well, to pot the ball, good. To miss all of that traffic, excellent. Just made a grazing contact with the 6, and that's why this is a little tricky.
Oh, just like that. He's given himself a chance. But you're absolutely right, Phil, to have avoided all the traffic in knocking that 2 in. Some kind of effort from Shaw.
A few members of the audience were concerned there. It was always in, but for them, hearts were in mouths.
Well, it was a steady nerve to be able to play a shot like that.
I'll tell you what, it's looking bleak for the Americans now, because Shaw on the threshold of 3-1, and bear in mind he breaks in the next rack.
Yeah, just the wrong side of the 8 here. So he's going to have to power this one in. How'd he do? Jayson Shaw. This is your time. The European rookie looking to close it out. 3-1 he leads, and he'll break in rack number 5.
And one of the men who came down to congratulate him there is Albin Ouchen, who would be the most valuable player if Jayson Shaw won this match, because Ouchen unbeaten. I think he's contributed 4 points out of 4, so he would be the MVP.
Here's the big shot on the 2. He had to miss the 4 and the 9. Just flicked the 6 in the middle, but gave himself a chance. This one, I'm sure his heart leapt into his throat as he watched that cue ball go so near that corner pocket.
Break, leading by 3 racks to 1. Quiet down, please.
Look at the 9. We haven't had a golden break. And that's the closest we've come to one.
Well, a good 2 to the side, then the 3, and maybe a 4-9 combination, Jim.
Just like you directed it, Phil. He's looking at the 4-9. Just wants to get that cue ball left-hand side of the table. Oh, he's overhit it. He's trying to get behind it, is he? Yeah, I wonder if he might try and draw this and make the 9 with a cue ball. Watch the cue ball. That's what he tried. He tried to make the 9. Otherwise, he'd have played better position to the 5. Got the 4 on the side. That was the in-off. What can you say? (6-9) for a 4-1 lead. Got it. Jayson Shaw and Team Europe 1 rack away. They can feel it. The crowd can feel it.
Welcome back to London for the final day of the 2016 Mosconi Cup. Jayson Shaw now leads the American Mike Dechaine 4-1, which means Europe are only 1 rack away from lifting the famous trophy for the 11th time.
Just tremendous, and I'm really pleased about this because Jayson Shaw in 2016 individually has produced fireworks all over the place. He's won tournaments that go into double figures in the States, from Rhode Island to Indiana and around the world as well. He has been right up there with the very best. Hasn't produced his best form in this competition until now, and in this match we are seeing the full range of his extensive shot making and potting skills.
USA to break, trailing by 4 racks to 1.
Dechaine to extend it. And a good break, giving himself a chance. The 2 is available.
The slumped shoulders tell you, as does that camera angle. Shaw can see the 2.
Nifty little shot there. Use the 8 to get the cue ball back over the right-hand side of the table. And I think you can start warming up the band.
If Europe win 11-3, it's the 2nd widest margin of victory for them in Mosconi Cup history. Only eclipsed by their 11-2 trouncing of the USA at the Mirage in Las Vegas in 2013.
This one's done. The celebration is going to start real soon.
Jim, with Jayson's skills, this is a sure thing.
Triumph at the Alexandra Palace. An unprecedented 7th straight Mosconi Cup lands on European shores. Utter domination from day one, and the fans in London will be celebrating Europe's Mosconi Cup win tonight. The Americans had no answer whatsoever for this European juggernaut in the 23rd Mosconi Cup.
An overall parity, Jim, as well in the history of this tournament. 11 wins now for the USA, 1 tie, and 11 wins for Europe.
All hail Team Europe. They are your 2016 Betfair Mosconi Cup champions. Marcus Chamat, the captain, 2 in a row now. They're dancing on center stage, choreographing the celebration with a 2,000-strong crowd here at the Ali Pali.
And with this collective and so many fine players not included, you have to make that point. Their domination could continue for years to come.
Doesn't look like stopping anytime early, Phil. This European team, the European players are too strong for anything the Americans send across the Atlantic, and they're too strong for anyone that plays them on home soil. Jayson Shaw's victory here seals it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the moment we've all been waiting for, our presentation. Would you please welcome, on behalf of Matchroom Sport, Mr. Barry Hearn, and the head of media relations for Betfair, our title sponsors, Mr. Barry Orr. Well, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back onto the stage our runners-up to receive their silver medals. Please show your appreciation for Team USA. So the silver medals to Team USA now. Skylar Woodward there. Justin Bergman. Shane Van Moning. Mike Dechaine. And finally, the Rocket, Rodney Morris. Ladies and gentlemen, your runners-up in the Betfair Mosconi Cup, Team USA. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the winners receiving their gold medals. And now, ladies and gentlemen, retaining the magnificent Betfair Mosconi Cup for the 7th year in succession, we now welcome Team Europe's captain to lift the magnificent trophy to be crowned the winners of the 2016 Betfair Mosconi Cup, Team Europe!
I almost don't want to interrupt this, but I'm going to have to. Marcus, can I turn you around? Oh, and breathe, everybody. You've done it. Marcus, congratulations, because you've just retained the title. It's the 7th time in a row that Team Europe have done it. How are you feeling?
What can you say? It's been an amazing week. I mean, the team spirit in this team has been. I thought last one was good, and this one was even better. I mean, how can you top what happened last year? And this year, we came out firing. You know, like it was unbelievable. But you gotta wait. 1 second. I gotta say one thing. I used to live in the US for 5 years, and I know what these guys are all about. I know you guys gonna bounce back. America never gives up. One thing is for sure, you guys are awesome. I lived it for 5 years. I know what you guys are all about.
Marcus,
on the other hand, I have to say, this is probably the best team in the world ever. And I know, you're watching in China, you're watching the Philippines. We put these guys on a plane, we come over to China, and we take it. We go there. That's right.
Marcus, we have to say as well that you are such a big part of this team, and the team spirit that you mentioned, a lot of that is down to you, how infectious your personality is and how much you keep these guys smiling. Look at them now. That's all down to you.
When we first came here, I said, you know what this is all about. Us 6 together, we're in this together, no matter what happens. We always stand beside. You're not alone out there. Well, sometimes you're alone because you're playing things. but everybody is behind each other. Look at them. This was a team, the best team in the world, and we showed it there, displayed. Okay?
Marcus, thank you so much. Now, oh look, they're screaming his name already. It brings me on to our next point. Last year it was Nils Fine that picked up the MVP for the 4th time. This year, I'm happy to say, Team Europe's MVP is Albin Ocean. Albin, last year you were a rookie. This year, you're the MVP. How do you feel?
Well, before I played last year, I watched the Mosconi Cup like 10 years or something. I always looked up to the people who won the MVP. So it's a huge pleasure for me to stay here with the MVP award in my hands. It's awesome.
Yeah. It's bookended a fantastic year for you. Last year Mosconi, this year Mosconi, and in between, just a small case of being the world champion.
Yeah, it's huge. I'm just speechless to stand here with the best guys on the planet. They played awesome. I mean, it's just an amazing year. Like Jayson, I won the Giant Open last year, and I was the rookie on the team and made the last 9 for the team. He's probably the man to beat on earth right now, and he played the last match in the Mosconi Cup. He really deserved it, and it's a huge pleasure to be here.
Last year you did it in America, and this year it's in Europe. What do you make of this incredible crowd that's singing your name?
Well, they could start again singing my name.
Oh, he wants you to. Not on demand, apparently.
Well, it's incredible here. I hope it's getting bigger and bigger and more intense every year. Hopefully I'll be back next year in Vegas and we're going to win it again. What
was it like playing with this team? If you look at them now, the talent is absolutely incredible. We've mentioned it already. What was it like behind closed doors? How close were you all?
Well, like Darren said a couple of days before, we were probably the best team on paper, and we showed it every day. It was perfect. We were good friends also at the Euro Tour. We were supporting each other and everything. It's just an awesome team.
Brilliant. I'm just going to bring Jayson in for a minute. Albin, congratulations and thank you very much. You just have to give it a minute to soak it all in, don't you, really?
Yeah, it's awesome. You know, I'm so glad all my family are here. So all my friends from Scotland and everybody, so I'm so happy I could get to play in front of them.
First year, not bad for a rookie.
Yeah, there's a lot of nerves out there, you know, but you just got to stay calm and just take every ball, one ball at a time, you know. Try and just relax, you know. It's easy to get hyped up, you know, everyone's screaming and shouting, so yeah, I'm just excited. I don't know what to say.
How did you feel when you knocked in the 9?
I felt pretty good.
We can have a little look at it there. You can see it over there. Talk us through it. What was going through your mind?
Nothing, I was just thinking what celebration I was going to do.
And is that an adequate celebration? Do you wish you did something different?
Yeah, I don't know, it's just one of those ones.
When you dream about playing in the Mosconi Cup, do you dream about climbing on that table at the end?
Yeah, actually, I had a pretty good year, and I actually had a couple of dreams about playing the last game and making the final 9 ball, and it came true, you know, so I'm very excited. I'm awesome. I have 5 great guys in the team. We all fight for each other, we all support each other, stick together, you know. So,
did it live up to expectations? Was it everything you dreamed it would be?
Yeah, I think now I've played in it, I want to play in it every year. So, yeah, I'm just super excited, you know.
Absolutely. Jayson, congratulations. Thank you very much.
One more thing. Barry, 20 G's, baby!
Thank you very much, Jayson. Mark, thank you so much for coming and having a chat with us. Such a difficult one for you and your team. How do you feel it all went, and where did it go wrong?
Well, complete respect for the professionalism of Europe. They played great from start to finish, kept us off balance throughout the week. But I also want to make mention of the fact that my 5 guys never quit, did everything I asked of them all week, came through, and we have great pride and respect for my team. I believe in them, and we'll be back.
Mark, how difficult has it been for your team? Because you've never been ahead since day one. How hard is that to keep chasing and keep the faith?
You know, it's always a task, and it really kind of comes down to the fact that they're unified, they believed all the way, even going into the day where we were confident that we were going to score some matches here. So.
Next year is back in Vegas. What changes need to be made to bring you guys back into it?
I think we need to begin working harder, starting from January forward, to compete with the great team that Europe has.
Mark, thank you so much to you and your team. We'll catch up with you guys a little bit later.
I just want to say I love you, Maddie Bug and Maya Bug.
Thank you, Mark. Cheers. Niels, you were so caught up in the moment that you didn't even know we wanted to speak to you. This competition for you is so special. You've had the MVP award 4 times. Right. You come here and you consistently perform every single time, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, this event is unbelievable. The anticipation for the anticipation for this event is like it's like no other event, you know. My body starts changing like weeks before this tournament. It's weird. I start getting more nervous and anxious. My practice focus gets up, and I just want to get together with the guys, you know, to get it started once I'm here. And I mean, the trust in this team is unbelievable. That's what wins it for us. Then the fans are unbelievable. But I mean,
that's Jason's mate up there, the rowdy one apparently.
But I mean, the faith we have in one another is very high. I mean, Mark, he only played like his second singles match in 3 Mosconi Cups, and he played unbelievable. Darren lives for this tournament. He knows every stat of every year, of every match, of every game, etc. Then Albin, you know, he's coming into his own zone. You know, he's got a lovely girlfriend that just had a child. He's becoming like a grown, strong player. Marcus is hard as on his sleeve, the best. And Jayson, if he doesn't win Player of the Year, I'm quitting pool. I mean, that's just it. You know what I mean? That's how it is. So I mean, just an unbelievable team. It's great stuff.
With the sinking of the final 9 ball, Jayson Shaw brings down the curtain on 4 days of world-class sporting action, which has seen Europe lift the famous trophy for the 9th time in 10 years. 11 wins apiece, it's all to play for in 2017 when the Mosconi Cup returns to the bright lights of Las Vegas.